Hello and welcome to Wine and Reason, the anxiety, depression, and unemployment, oh my edition. Um, yeah, I was trying to think of a topic for this week, and this is kind of all I can think about. Because as a lot of you know, I went from being furloughed and having like a guaranteed back to work, job time or date rather, and to being laid off, which is a completely different kettle of fish. And the unemployment laws in my state are a bit rough. And if I'm buffering, I'm sorry. Please let me know because my thing is acting slightly weird. But new computer, yay! And thanks to everyone who made that possible. Some of you are in the chat right now. Thank you so much. All right. So before I get all silly and whingy about what's going on with me, and I promise this isn't going to be like Julie complains the whole time. Let me say hello to Critical Cripple Dave. Hugs. Aw, hey. My wonderful partner, Junk Shop Library, is in the chat. Brainbug is in the chat. How hums the hive, my friend? Amiga Nuts, our King of the Shills. There we go. Sorry, I almost said shrill, and I was like, Amiga Nuts isn't shrill. Very chill person. That's the impression I get, anyway. Let's see. And who else? Oh, hello to you. And who else? Who else? Who else? Amber Schofield in the house. Hey, girl, what's up? Let's see. Godless Sewing, hello. Good to see you. I'm really curious as to what that 61 mile per hour exciting post is about, but I don't know. Oh, here's a funny thing. Has anybody since this whole Math Pig, hey, thank you so much. Oh, your birthday party was so fun. If y'all missed Math Pig's birthday party, I did not dox him. That is in no way his real name. But if you missed Math Pig's birthday party, go back and watch it. It was so much fun and I think it'll be a fun rewatch as well. Paul Camish, hey, thank you so much for showing up, sir. Are you in the bath? What are you drinking? How's your day been? Geo Sam, nice to see your spooky eyes in the chat. Not that Sam has spooky eyes. He does. He's the cute little starey eyes, emoji eyes. Mama Atheist, Amanda, hey, so good to see you. Mark Caesar, hey, man. How's Australia? That's a big ask. It's the only country that is also a continent. So that's, how's your town? How's your part of the Australia? All right, the Australia. Oh my goodness. And Ricardo Oliveira, hey, good to see you. Someday, if the world ever goes even remotely back to normal, we're gonna have to meet up and split a couple bottles of wine because we got to talking about wine in a side chat the other night. And anyway, so all right. So for tonight's or today's or whatever time it is where you are, Wine and Reason. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about like more than 3 million other Americans. I'm laid off. I'm looking for jobs. I did get a lead today, so that was nice. That was really cool. But it is very scary, and I emailed an HR person from my very recently former company. And honestly, it's not their fault. They didn't do anything. Like, they're not being jerks, So, and I've never said where I worked on this channel. They're two separate things, and I won't say where, because they were very good to me. The entire time that I worked there, they were very good to me. I just wish that they could have kept us all on. That would be nice. But the situation is Amiga Nut says, hang on. There we go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, everybody. Amiga Nuts is there. Y'all can see him. Okay. Yeah, I think they're they had to lay off a bunch of, oh man, sorry, kind of lost my train of thought. All right. So I got laid off. That was the point. I'm gonna stop rambling about my company there because I don't want to accidentally say the name or do anything like that. I don't feel wronged. It just sucks. It just absolutely sucks because this was, frankly, it was the best job I've ever had. And I've been working since I was 17 to one degree or another. So that's had a lot of jobs, and this was the best one, and I genuinely enjoyed it. And that's not everyone can say that, you know, not everyone. And you know, yeah, sometimes it was a bitch. The worst part about it was the commute, was like driving, you know, 45 minutes there and 45 minutes back every day, but it was worth it. That was the worst part in my city's traffic, my city, which is known for having terrible drivers. And I'm probably one of them because I learned to drive here. I do use my signals though. Most people don't know how those work, or seem not to. Anyway, okay. So like more than 3 million other Americans, I am now out of work, looking for work. I'm hoping to find something I can do from home so that I can keep myself and Junk Shop safe from coronavirus, because this thing ain't going away, because Americans don't know how to act right, apparently, and neither does our government on every level. So we're just a wee bit fucked. And so this is causing a lot of anxiety and depression. And by the way, first thing I'm going to say, not a mental health expert at all. Everything I know about mental health comes from my first technical writing job, which happened to be for a psychiatric journal, and the therapy and things that I've gone through myself. So, and that friends of mine have gone through, and books I've read and things like that, but not a professional. I know a little bit about it because I'm there, I'm in it. And that's just a part of who I am. But, you know, don't take medical advice from a YouTube channel unless it's run by an actual MD. And there are a couple of those, and they're pretty cool. Yeah, so if you're depressed, don't drink. Don't do this. This isn't wine. It's a margarita. Junk Shop made margaritas last night, and there was some left over. So, and they make amazing margaritas. So I'm not going to not drink that. Okay. So, but yeah, anxiety and depression are an issue, and they tend to go hand in hand because we can only be stressed for so long, right? Cortisol is released in the brain when you're stressed out, when you're anxious. It's part of the fight or flight response, and it serves us very well because it's unpleasant and it's a little uncomfortable, and it makes you want to get out of the situation that is unpleasant or uncomfortable. However, and that can be great for survival, particularly against wild animals or against hostile other humans or whatever. But the problem with that then becomes when cortisol is released in the brain over long periods of time, like periods of sustained stress, like say since March or, you know, December or whenever it was that you found out about COVID-19, and it started to affect your life and affect you directly, that can really mess with your brain chemistry. And I'm going to stop there talking about brain chemistry because I don't want to say anything that's incorrect or at least grossly incorrect. But it will fuck you up a bit. And so, yeah. And then, so for some people, and this happens to me, like when I go into what I refer to as survival mode, where like things are bad, things are so bad that how the stress response functions in me is I go, okay, let's get this shit done. We're going to fix it. We have to fix it now. We've got to find out where we're going to live. We've got to find out, you know, and that's not in this case actually, but, you know, got to find out, you know, how we're going to be okay. Right. And the week after I got laid off, I had a hard time doing any of that because I was very depressed. That first week, I was very depressed. And I got some excellent advice from my therapist about self-care and CBT. And he basically said, hey, do whatever, you know, do whatever works for you that will make you feel better. It's okay to take a little time, to take a few days and mourn what you've lost here. And that was twofold. It was losing the best job I've ever had, or threefold actually, losing the best job I've ever had in my life, losing really excellent, for the US, truly excellent medical benefits, and losing the security of knowing that I had a job to go back to, right? So, technical writer needing work from home work, I'm right here if you need me. I promise I won't write fuck in your technical manuals, just in my notes. Okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so for me, the anxiety didn't kick in that way where it's been helpful to me in the past. It just didn't. Oh, by the way, this show is not for children, and don't smoke tobacco. It's stupid. Admittedly so, but you know what? It's a coping mechanism for me, and I'm going to use it. Yeah, so the anxiety survival mode did not kick in, and I just got horrifically depressed. I got really bad insomnia. A lot of you saw me on Twitter at like 3 or 4 in the morning, my time, going, hey, anybody else can't sleep? How much does insomnia suck? And saying flippant things like that. And actually, you know, I'm going to take back what I just said about the anxiety, because part of the not being able to sleep was anxiety related. It didn't feel safe to sleep. The only place that felt safe was my couch in the living room, as the horrendous stack of unwashed coffee mugs in my kitchen will attest to. Oh my gosh, like the whole apartment. God, we need to do laundry. There's so much that needs to be done. Before anyone starts to worry, the fish and the creatures are all well taken care of. Junk shop seized all of that, and they're very well taken care of. They're fine. We have not, but yeah, I've really fallen down on just what I consider to be like my basic, you know, I'm a human being and don't like to live in filth chores, right? So yeah, so that was last week. I was nervous, I was anxious, and I was too depressed to really do anything. And when I did sleep, it was usually during the day, and it was for a ridiculously long amount of time. So if you haven't, you know, seen me in Junk Shop's live chat, or if you haven't seen me, you know, in your live chats for your shows last week, please understand that's what was going on, and that's why I wasn't around. It was definitely not because I didn't want to be there. Let's see. I'm going to pull up this comment by Mark Caesar. I'm the same. If I have something I need to do, I get it done. Post haste makes me see I have a stress-free life. I haven't done that for a while. Yeah, I agree. I'm wired the same way. I will if I procrastinate, and I can work well under pressure, but if I procrastinate, it's so much worse for me than if I just, like, if I sometimes, like these days, and here's another kind of self-care thing, I try to set reasonable short-term goals, right, for myself. Like today, I woke up and I had an email about a job. Like someone reached out to me. I didn't even know this job existed. And it's not right up my alley, but it's pretty darn close. Close enough that they thought I could do it, so that's nice. So I said, yes, please, and I applied for it. So that was one thing off my list today. I applied for a job. I tried to find a phone number to call the Tennessee unemployment folks, and their website has so much great information. It really does. But you cannot find a phone number anywhere. And the thing is, I have a very specific question that is very difficult to write down. And it's just tricky. It's a tricky question, and I need that about, you know, Tennessee law, basically. So, and then I tried finding the answer myself, and I'm, you know, clearly not a lawyer, and I couldn't find it. And I really don't want to pay for a lawyer right now, because we're kind of saving like all of our money for things like food and bills and rent. So there's that. So, and you know, I've had it so easy up until now. Y'all, there are people out there who are not doing nearly as well. They don't have the familial support that Junk Shop and I have, and we're so lucky for that. They don't have community support like we have with you guys. They you know, they're just they were folks living, you know, paycheck to paycheck anyway, and when that rug is pulled out from under you, there are not enough social safety nets in this country, and sure as shit are enough in the South, in particular. So yeah, so anxiety, depression, and unemployment, all of these things are going around. There's also a lot of grief going around. We have a couple of friends who, including a dear friend's pet, have lost they've lost 8 people, and then one of their best friends lost a pet. And not all of these were coronavirus related deaths, but it's just that it's like the summer from hell on top of everything else. They've lost 9 people, like 9, you know, friends and family members. And yeah, and I mentioned this before. These are the same folks that Junk Shop and I virtually sat Shiva with. So I mean, it's a rough time for everyone, and so many people are sick, and so many people are dying, and then the people who aren't sick are losing those people. So wow, now I'm depressing. Okay, all right. Usually people are having a cheerful conversation, and I come in with like a depressing historical fact, but this is a downer even for me. Like, this is too much for me. So I'm gonna see what you're saying in the chat. I'm also realizing I should have planned more. I really thought I'd have more of a tirade when it came to being unemployed, because it's been such a pain in the ass to get paperwork and just to get things done, and dealing with government red tape when you're depressed sucks. It's the worst. I don't know. There has to be a better way. There really does. There has to be. Yeah. Well, dang it. I haven't been keeping up with the chat, so I'm not quite sure of the context of this comment, but if it's what I think it is, yeah, especially if you aren't a church person, I found. Let me see here. Hey, never again. Were you responding to Mark Caesar's comment? Let's see. It's a good thing to find something a bit different from what you're used to. You get to expand your field of experience when you. Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah. Actually, if I get this job, which would be kind of amazing, and you know, yes, that will be something to celebrate. If I get it, it's very it's science-based technical writing. I've done medical, and I've done engineering technical writing. I haven't done. I'm not exactly sure like what it would mean exactly, but yeah, they did mention science in the you know description, so that's exciting, because I always did well in science. I just did until chemistry, and then I did terribly in math, so I didn't go very far in the sciences. Both of my degrees are bachelor's of arts degrees, unfortunately. So there you go. And I'll get to learn a couple of new computer programs as well, because well, not new, but I'll have to get better at a couple of them, so that's exciting. And yeah, it is interesting. Like you learn something from every job you have, even if you hate the job, right? I learned how to, you know, I learned food safety working in restaurants, and that's just a good skill to have. It's a good skill to have. No cross contamination. Oh, Paul, yay! All right, and so our dear friend. Paul says, I'm lucky. I've never suffered with depression or anything like that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Neither has my dad. And it's one of those things where it can be a little frustrating for me, because I'll try and explain, you know, what it's like. And you can just, you can tell he doesn't get it, but at the same time, I'm so happy for him that he doesn't get it, because I'm just glad. I'm glad he never bumped the mic. Totally a professional. I'm just very glad that he's never suffered that. He's super easygoing. He had some PTSD from he fought in Korea, but excuse me, and he did, but he worked that out. He had worked that out by the time I was born. So that was because he joined up at 18 and I wasn't born until they were like 35. Anyway, that's probably telling a bit of some tales out of school there. I don't know if you'd appreciate that, so I'll shut up about that now. Yeah, it's, oh, hey, Druid Lover. Talking about government red tape and disability. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, this is an interesting one, Amber. Thank you for bringing this up. Absolutely. Yeah. Anxiety, if I'm not also depressed, anxiety will make me and I'm not going to say this is what Amber means. Amber says hyper and overactive. That is different. But because I've got BPD, it can make me manic. And so I can end up, doing things out of stress that are very impulsive, or it's not always bad. Sometimes I just like freak out and clean the hell out of the apartment, right? That's not bad. Apartment's clean afterwards. That's a good thing. But yeah, but even there, sometimes the mania, it affects my judgment. I've thrown out things that were not meant to be thrown out. Like I've thrown out paperwork that should not have been thrown out yet, that was still relevant and that we might have needed. So it's definitely happened. Sorry, honey. All right. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I've had days like this for sure. Yeah, mine just makes me curl up into a ball and wish for the sweet release of sleep. Yes, indeed. I am. Oh yeah, these are horrible. I'm so sorry, Druid Liver. Panic attacks are horrible. A lot of people will say this as well, but the first time I had one, I thought I was dying. I straight up thought I was having a heart attack. Yeah, they're horrendous. And one of the triggers for mine happens to be driving. So, which is nice because that's how I was able to get medication for them. Because the moment you tell a doctor that you have panic attacks while driving, they're like, well, we can't have that, so now, I take one in the morning, and that usually prevents me from having a panic attack unless something triggers another one, and then I can take up to 2 a day. So that's nice. I don't always need the second one, but it's there if I do, and that's nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, isn't this everybody? This is I think this is a human condition. I'm bummed, and I find I get pissed easily when I'm stressing over stuff I care about but have no control over. Yes, that feeling of impotence where you just want to put a fist through a wall. And for our British friends, I'm pretty sure never again means pissed in the angry sense, not in the drunk sense there, in that, given the context clues. But yes, I can get it's very frustrating. It's like getting laid off, from a company that you actually believed in and that does good work and makes quality things and that you felt good working for, which is me talking about myself in the third person there. That was weird. Or second person. Yeah. And I'm a little angry. I'm not angry at them. It's like I don't know where to direct it. I can't be angry at a plague, right? I can't be angry at coronavirus. I can be angry at how from the city, state, like all the way to the federal government, I can be angry about how this situation has not been handled, how the president has spoken about it in the media, which has led to so many ridiculous conspiracy theories. And these theories have killed people. Oh, I wish I could remember his name. Herman, help me out if you know this in the chat. Some gentleman, thank you, Angie. I like this lip color too. Some gentleman named, American dude named German something. Herman something. Anyway, he was posting a lot of tweets about how wearing a mask was a violation of his rights and how it wasn't there. It was pointless. There was no benefit to wearing masks. He died recently of coronavirus. So that's, we're hearing these stories. I covered one in my last video about people, making this mistake. They believe it's a hoax. They don't believe it's a real thing. And that mistake costs them their lives. And it's very, very sad. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. Never again. There's some loved ones of mine. I actually had to block someone on Twitter like last month because I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I can't deal with your shit right now. Love you, but I need to not hear what you're saying right now. Because it was that type of stuff. Like I posted a thing about a memorial. It was a picture of a man kneeling. He was kneeling in front of lit candles and pictures of all of these people who had died from coronavirus in Manhattan. And I just posted the link, the picture and the link of this to the story on my Facebook wall, and this person wrote bullshit under it. And I was like, okay, no. Okay, so yeah, it is, isn't it? See, hang on. I'm going to pull up this. Okay, Mark Caesar, a very, very intelligent stray in here. It's scary that he had coronavirus and was walking around not wearing a mask. Yes, it is scary because who else did he infect? That's the thing about this. Like, if it were just natural selection, if it was like, okay, the people who refuse to accept medical science and who refuse to think critically about this, yeah, weed yourselves out, whatever. Now that's hard for me to even say as a humanist because it makes me feel shitty saying it. But at some point, it's kind of like, well, if you're that, it's the cliche of if all of your friends jumped off a cliff, would you too? And it's like, well, if you would, yeah, I'm not sure what we can do for you. Maybe I'm being a jackass when I say that. But the problem here is it's not just them. It's not just the people who are like, oh, it's violation of my rights or coronavirus doesn't exist and they're going to COVID release parties and shit. The problem there is all the other people and surfaces they come into contact with, because it's not just about you. It's about everyone in your life and every place you go and everything you touch or breathe on. All right. Good. Yes. Thank you, Ricardo. Oh, you're fantastic. Yes. It was Herman Cain. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was gonna drive me bats for the rest of I was so annoyed that I couldn't think of his last name. All right. Thank you, Ricardo. Oh, yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. Which is probably why we know his name. Yeah. Herman Cain was a prominent Republican donor, in case anyone's watching this with just earphones, or not watching it, but rather just listening to it. Yeah. That is so, yeah, well, exactly. I mean, there are moments where you just have to go, well, you kind of made your bed, son, right? I mean, yeah. And so Mark Caesar says, yeah, let them compete for the Darwin Award. Yeah, it's just, but then again, I'm a very timid person. Yes. Oh, and so, I'm the kind of person who's like, I won't ever go skydiving because why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? I don't understand that. Okay, but if you're into that sort of thing, do it. You know, we only live once. Paul Kemish, are you on the new computer? If so, it's junk. God damn it. It's junk shopping. Seriously, the video isn't in sync. Yes, I'm on the new computer. I just looked over to our junk shop to see if so it is it junk shopping?
I can't fucking tell. I'm on mobile.
Oh, okay. Junk shop is watching it on their mobile and they can't tell. I'm sorry guys. I've seen it refresh a couple of times on my end of things. Oh, no. Yeah, see there, it just did it again. Okay, well, thank you, Paul, for letting me know. Guys, I think I'm sorry this was really short, but I think maybe we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out what's going on with my computer. On the 12th of this month, you can catch me. I think we're having a discussion. Secular people, some are pro-life, some are pro-choice. Guess which side I'm on. And it's on Your Friendly Neighborhood Atheists channel, I believe. I'll get more information there. That should be a lot of fun. Okay, so Paul says it might be me. I'm on my phone in a bad area. Yeah, but I've see, I'm seeing it doing the circle thing. It just did it again. So I think it's me too. Yeah, it's freezing a bit, but not too bad. And you can hear me well. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mark Cedar. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it could be a StreamYard problem. It could also be a traffic problem. I mean, so many people are online constantly. I know it's not. Yeah, exactly. GeoSam says it's most likely a bandwidth issue. And that's, yeah, that can't really be fixed. Yeah, absolutely. And that, yeah, it just is what it is at that point, because, you know, some people are online all the time right now. All right, so my other short-term goal today is to wash some dishes so there aren't quite so many dirty dishes, and shower. That's it. Those are very easy, achievable short-term goals. So don't drink if you're depressed. If you're anxious, do some self-soothing, you know, eat some chocolate, watch a show. Thank you, Math Pig. Don't worry, we'll sort it out. Watch a show that you like. I just rewatched The Office. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that show, but it's awesome. I love it. It makes me happy, and I've rewatched it many times. What else is going on? I have a whole stack of books I've been meaning to read that I haven't read, and I updated my resume today. So yeah, damn, updated my resume. Said yes, I'm interested in this job. What do you need? And tried to get through some of the unemployment stuff, but I'm going to try that later. I'm going to suggest jump into the hot tub. Yes, we have access to a hot tub. That can be nice. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Yeah, never again. Yeah, those are good goals. And the shower will make me feel better, as will getting some of the dishes washed, because that really bugs me. I mean, I live in the South, you know, cockroaches show up if you don't keep on top of that shit. All right. Thank you guys so much. The British version of The Office is amazing, Paul. I will give you that. I see them as, I've watched it. It's awesome. I love Ricky Gervais. I love his new show, Afterlife. If you haven't seen Afterlife, check that out. It's on Netflix, and it's really, really cool. Very cool. It's the main character is an atheist. That's neat. And it's called Afterlife, which is kind of so check it out. But yeah, the British Office was fantastic. I see them as just two completely different animals. It's like they don't, except for like a couple of the early episodes of the American version of The Office, they don't even read as the same show to me. They're each funny in their own way. They each have good things in their own way. All right, so right. The other little bit of mental health advice that I had, cockroaches show up and you have dirty dishes, shakes head. I know. It's terrible. It's a travesty. Okay. The other thing I was going to suggest is try to have a regular schedule. even in these weird times when nobody's schedule is normal. If you work, you're probably on your normal schedule. But if you're laid off, try and keep to a normal schedule if you can. Also, say fuck it one time and just stay up all night and do something silly. Whatever. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Remember, you can't find wine in reason. God damn it. You can't. I'm going to learn how to edit videos just because of this shit. Just so I could take this shit out. My charming destruction of my own tagline. You won't find truth in wine or margaritas, but you can find it in reason. Love you guys. Have a great day.